And this evening, we're actually going to be speaking to Fergal Gayner. He is the legal representative for the victims of the 2008 post-election violence in the Uhuru Kenyatta case. Fergal, thank you for joining us this evening. I'd like to find out from you, what do you make of this latest development where the prosecution has been given 9 days to actually make a decision whether or not they can continue with this case against Uhuru Kenyatta?
Well, this latest decision is part of a series of decisions which the judges have taken, which are directed at securing the cooperation of the government of Kenya, specifically in respect of the delivery of financial and telephone data, which might or might not implicate President Kenyatta in crimes committed during the post-election violence. That request by the prosecution was first made nearly 2.5 years ago to the government of Kenya. Since then, there have been a number of disputes between the prosecution and the government of Kenya. The most recent decisions were on the 31st of March and on the 29th of July. And it's clear that the trial chamber has set out quite firmly their expectation that the practical problems in this case will be resolved through cooperation by the government and the prosecution. And they've also dealt with all of the legal arguments raised by the various parties which have been advanced as reasons for not cooperating. So really, today's decision is a signal to the prosecution to say, well, how are things going? Have you received the evidence that you need? And the defense, the prosecution and the victims will be free to make submissions on whatever the prosecution's position is.
From your perspective as the representative of the victims, how do you feel that things are going in this case so far? We've had a few hiccups with prosecution saying they're not getting cooperation and, you know, I beg your pardon, and the defense saying that this is a fishing expedition. So in your opinion, how is this case going for the victims? Is justice something that will come to them?
Well, the victims are deeply frustrated. They've frequently expressed anger, frustration, even feelings of betrayal at the slow pace of progress and at the prospect from their point of view of whether a trial is going to take place at all. So they certainly want a proper, genuine, fair trial to take place, including all evidence which is relevant to the charges, and that includes the evidence which appears to be continually withheld by the government of Kenya. So yeah, they're caught in a difficult position. There's no justice for post-election violence victims in the Kenyan criminal justice system, and the ICC criminal justice system is moving very slowly indeed. So yeah, they're frustrated.
And the judges have given you until the 10th of September, I understand, to file a response. What kind of response will you be giving?
Again, we've got to balance those two things. There's deep frustration at the slow pace of trial on the part of the victims, but we do want all relevant evidence to be disclosed so that the truth can emerge as to who really was responsible for the vicious crimes which were committed against the victims and against their family members in Naivasha and Nakuru. So we want the truth to emerge, and we want full cooperation from the government of Kenya, and we want the prosecution to continue its investigations with as much determination and robustness as it can muster.
So what do you feel would be the best outcome for you in this situation?
The best outcome would be for the government to fully comply with all outstanding requests from the prosecutor's office for delivery of all relevant evidence in this case, and then for the trial to commence as soon as possible thereafter. It would also mean that the government takes seriously its obligations under Kenyan law to provide assistance and compensation to IDPs, regardless of their ethnicity, including IDPs who are in the Nyanza region and in the Western region, who have received next to no assistance from the government in respect of the crimes committed against them during the post-election violence.
Thank you very much for speaking to us this evening. That was Fergal Gayner. He is the legal representative for the victims of the 2008 post-election violence.